Impact Hard to Kill results January 8, 22 First match, Jordynne Grace vs Chelsea Green vs Alisha Edwards vs Lady Frost vs Rosemary vs Tasha Steelz in a Knockouts Ultimate X match. The winner will get a future Impact Knockouts World title match. Green with forearm shivers. Grace and Steelz are immediately climbing up the steel beams. Green drops Edwards with the blockbuster. Steelz pulls Green off the middle turnbuckle. Steelz with forearm shivers. Steelz ducks two clotheslines from Green. Steelz sends Green to the corner. Green launches Steelz over the top rope. Steelz with a shoulder block. Steelz slips over Green's back. Steelz with a Hurricane Rana. Grace is putting the boots to Rosemary. Grace avoids the roundhouse kick. Grace sends Steelz into the ropes. Grace denies the crucifix bomb. Grace with the spine buster. Grace dumps Steelz out of the ring. Grace ducks a clothesline from Rosemary. Rosemary with a back elbow smash. Rosemary with forearm shivers. Rosemary sends Grace to the corner. Grace drops Steelz with the DDT. Savannah Evans makes her way down to the ring and attacks Grace. Jessica Havoc puts Rosemary on her shoulders. Green delivers the missile dropkick. Palm strike exchange. Stereo crossbody blocks to the outside. Frost with a somersault plancha. Frost poses for the crowd. Frost climbs up the steel beam. Grace punches Frost in the back. Grace and Frost are trading back and forth shots. Grace slams Frost's head on the steel beam. Grace starts scaling the red cables. Frost jumps on Grace's back. Rosemary goes for a powerbomb, but Frost counters with a Hurricane Rana. Steelz with the pump kick. Steelz pulls Grace down to the mat. Lariat/coated combination. Rosemary with a running lariat. Green loses grip on the red cables. Edwards attacks Rosemary and Green with Kendra the kendo stick. Edwards climbs up to the red cable. Rosemary spears Edwards in mid-air. Grace catches up to Steelz on the red cables. Grace with the sit-out powerbomb. Frost delivers the temperature drop. Grace, Steelz, and Green climbs towards the red X. Second palm strike exchange. Steelz sends Grace crashing into the canvas. Steelz and Green gets into a tug of war. Steelz falls into the canvas with the X in her hands to pick up the victory. Winner, Tasha Steelz. Second match, Trey Miguel, C, vs Steve Maclin for the Impact X Division Championship. Maclin starts things off with the suicide dive. Maclin with forearm shivers. Maclin and Miguel are brawling on the stage. Miguel with a shotgun dropkick. Miguel is raining down haymakers. Miguel ducks a clothesline from Maclin. Miguel with the sliding tornado DDT on the floor. Miguel rolls Maclin back into the ring. Maclin sidesteps Miguel into the turnbuckles. Maclin catches Miguel in mid-air. Maclin gets Miguel tied up in the Tree of Woe. Miguel avoids the corner spear. Miguel with a wrecking ball dropkick. Miguel lands the somersault plancha over the steel ring post. Miguel with forearm shivers. Maclin drives Miguel back first into the ring apron. Maclin whips Miguel into the steel barricade. Maclin with a knife-edge chop. Maclin denies the tiger feint kick. Maclin tosses Miguel into the barricade. Maclin poses for the crowd. Maclin drives Miguel back first into the apron. Maclin rolls Miguel back into the ring. Maclin hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. Maclin with a runnage backbreaker. Maclin has Miguel sitting on the middle rope. Maclin with forearm shivers across the back of Miguel. Maclin drops Miguel with a running lariat. Maclin whips Miguel into the turnbuckles. Miguel with a forearm smash. Miguel decks Maclin with a back elbow smash. Miguel kicks Maclin in the face. Miguel dives over Maclin. Maclin with the runnage slam for a 2 count. Maclin continues to attack the lower back of Miguel. Maclin with the double underhook backbreaker for a 2 count. Maclin sends Miguel to the apron. Maclin with the big boot. Maclin delivers the cactus special. Maclin with a belly-to-back suplex on the apron. Maclin tosses Miguel back inside the ring. Maclin goes into the lateral press for a 2 count. Maclin applies a rear chin lock. Miguel with heavy body shots. Maclin punches Miguel in the back. Maclin with a pendulum backbreaker. Maclin applies the backbreaker stretch. Miguel is throwing haymakers at Maclin. Miguel with 3 knee strikes. Miguel with forearm shivers. Maclin ducks a clothesline from Miguel. Maclin goes for the Uranage slam, but Miguel lands back on his feet. Miguel rolls under a clothesline from Maclin. Miguel with a roll through double foot stomp. Miguel with a back fist. Miguel follows that with the slingshot DDT on the apron. Maclin denies the Meteora. Maclin spears Miguel out of the ring. Maclin rolls Miguel back into the ring. Maclin hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. Maclin with clubbing elbow smashes. Maclin goes for mayhem for all, but Miguel counters with the pile driver. Miguel with the scorpion kick. Miguel with the swinging fisherman's neck breaker for a 2 count. Maclin decks Miguel with a back elbow smash. Haymaker exchange on the apron. Miguel blocks a boot from Maclin. Miguel with a knee lift. Miguel delivers the Meteora to the floor. Miguel rolls Maclin back into the ring. Miguel connects with the flying Meteora for a 2 count. Miguel with combination palm strikes. Miguel with the buzzsaw kick. Miguel drills Maclin with the brainbuster. Miguel plants Maclin with the flying Meteora to pick up the victory. Winner, still Impact X Division Champion, Trey Miguel via pinfall. Third match, Jonathan Gresham, C, vs Chris Sabin for the Raw World Championship. Ian Riccaboni joins the commentary team for this match. Bobby Cruz will be the special guest ring announcer for this match. This match will be contested under pure rules. Code of Honor handshake. Collar and elbow tie up. Sabin applies a wrist lock. Standing switch exchange. Gresham rolls out of the side wrist lock. Gresham with a single leg takedown. Gresham applies a leg lock. Sabin answers with the head scissors escape. Strong lock up. Wrist lock exchange. Sabin with a deep arm drag. Collar and elbow tie up. Sabin applies a side headlock. Gresham scores the ankle pick. Gresham applies a toe and ankle hold. Sabin rolls Gresham over for a 2 count. Strong lock up. Gresham hyperextends the left shoulder of Sabin with his legs. Gresham with a deep arm drag. Gresham with a wrist lock takedown. Gresham applies a hammer lock. Gresham with the arm trap cover for a 2 count. Gresham works on his joint manipulation game. Sabin kicks out of multiple pinning predicaments. Gresham with a headlock takeover. Sabin answers with the head scissors escape. Sabin drives his knee into the midsection of Gresham. Sabin dumps Gresham out of the ring. Sabin blasts Gresham with the PK. Sabin rolls Gresham back into the ring. Sabin applies a waist lock. Gresham with a back elbow smash. Gresham applies a wrist lock. Sabin with forearm shivers. Gresham uses the top rope for leverage. Gresham goes for the O'Connor roll, but Sabin holds onto the ropes. Gresham goes for the Hurricane Rana, but Sabin counters with a roll through escape. Sabin drops Gresham with the twisting DDT for a 2 count. Gresham fights out of the fireman's carry position. Gresham applies the double wrist lock. Sabin sends Gresham into the ropes. Gresham runs into Sabin. Sabin with a knife edge chop. Gresham uppercuts the left shoulder of Sabin. Sabin drives his knee into the midsection of Gresham. Sabin with the draping fisherman's neck breaker for a 2 count. Rope break number 1 for Gresham. Gresham kicks the left shoulder of Sabin. Gresham denies the PK. Gresham slaps Sabin in the face. Gresham with the dragon screw leg whip. Sabin with a spinning back kick. Gresham answers with the quebrada. Gresham stomps on the left shoulder of Sabin. Gresham with clubbing elbow smashes. Gresham with the rolling crucifix for a 2 count. Gresham applies the crossface. Sabin grabs the bottom rope which forces the break. Gresham goes back to the crossface. Sabin rolls Gresham over for a 1 count. Gresham blocks a boot from Sabin. Gresham stomps on the right foot of Sabin. Gresham applies the octopus stretch. Gresham hammers down on the back of Sabin's neck. Sabin connects with the cradle shock for a 2 count. Gresham had his foot under the bottom rope. Forearm exchange. Sabin headbutts Gresham. Sabin slaps Gresham in the face. Knife edge chop exchange. Palm strike exchange. Sabin dodges the step up enzwidgery. Sabin with a massive palm strike. Step up enzwidgery exchange. Gresham denies the cradle shock. Sabin goes for the La Magi's trowel, but Gresham counters with the Japanese leg clutch hold to pick up the victory. Winner, still row world champion, Jonathan Gresham via pinfall. Fourth match, Josh Alexander vs Jonah. Alexander kicks Jonah in the face. Alexander ducks a clothesline from Jonah. Alexander is throwing haymakers at Jonah. Jonah launches Alexander to the corner. Alexander ducks another clothesline from Jonah. Alexander tees off on Jonah in the corner. Jonah reverses out of the Irish whip from Alexander. Alexander decks Jonah with a back elbow smash. Alexander with the missile dropkick. Jonah goes for a sentence splash, but Alexander ducks out of the way. Alexander applies a toe and ankle hold. Jonah kicks Alexander out of the ring. Jonah with a knife edge chop. Jonah rolls Alexander back into the ring. Alexander wraps the left leg of Jonah around the middle rope. Jonah with clubbing blows to Alexander's back. Alexander kicks Jonah in the face. Jonah's legs get trapped in between the ropes. Alexander with a running crossbody block through the ropes. Alexander with a knife edge chop. Jonah with heavy body shots. Jonah dumps Alexander ribs first on the ring apron. Jonah rolls Alexander back into the ring. Jonah with a knife edge chop. Jonah dumps Alexander ribs first on the top turnbuckle. Jonah with clubbing blows to Alexander's back. Jonah launches Alexander across the ring for a 2 count. Jonah is picking Alexander apart. Jonah with the sentence splash for a 2 count. Jonah with forearm shivers. Jonah applies the Canadian backbreaker rack. Alexander with clubbing elbow smashes. Alexander and Jonah are trading back and forth shots. Jonah tells Alexander to bring it. Alexander repeatedly slaps Jonah in the face. Jonah rocks Alexander with a forearm smash. Alexander repeatedly kicks the left hamstring of Jonah. Alexander with 2 running clotheslines. Alexander clotheslines Jonah over the top rope. Jonah brings Alexander into the crowd. Forearm exchange. Jonah punches Alexander. Jonah punches Alexander over the steel barricade. Alexander scores a right jab. Alexander with a flying crossbody block over the barricade. Jonah gets back in the ring at the count of 9. Alexander plays to the crowd. Jonah denies the C4 spike. Jonah with a back body drop. Alexander kicks Jonah in the face. Alexander with a flying knee strike for a 2 count. Alexander kicks Jonah in the chest. Alexander gets crotchet on the top turnbuckle. Alexander with forearm shivers. Jonah headbutts the midsection of Alexander. Jonah with the superplex. Second forearm exchange. Chop exchange. Palm strike exchange. Jonah slaps Alexander in the ribs. Jonah powerbombs Alexander for a 2 count. Jonah with an inside-out lariat for a 2 count. Jonah with clubbing headbutts. Jonah drills Alexander with the brainbuster for a 2 count. Alexander is busted open. Jonah ascends to the top turnbuckle. Alexander applies the ankle lock. Alexander with clubbing blows to Jonah's back. Jonah headbutts Alexander. Jonah goes for the moonsault, but Alexander ducks out of the way. Alexander rocks Jonah with a forearm smash. Alexander with a release German suplex. Alexander connects with the double underhook powerbomb for a 2 count. Jonah denies the ankle lock. Alexander repeatedly stomps on Jonah's face. Alexander makes Jonah tap out to the ankle lock. Winner, Josh Alexander via submission. Fifth match, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino vs. The Good Brothers end violent by design in a hardcore war match. Cody Deonna and Rich Swann will start things off. Swann drives the chair into the midsection of Deonna. Deonna kicks Swann in the gut. Haymaker exchange. Swann with a spinning back kick. Swann with a running bulldog. Swann follows that with a vertical suplex. Swann with the rolling thunder. Swann wedged a chair in between the turnbuckles. Deonna rakes the eyes of Swann. Deonna blasts Swann with the trash can. Swann drops Deonna with the windmill kick. Deonna avoids the 450 splash. Deonna sends Swann face first into the wedged chair. Deonna starts waving the VBD flag. Swann with a spinning heel kick. Swann goes for the handspring cutter, but Deonna counters with a flag-assisted side Russian leg sweep. Swann fights out of the fireman's carry position. Swann super kicks Deonna. Deonna with a drop toe hold into the chair. Carl Anderson is the next entrant. Anderson brought a golf club into the ring. Swann with the hook kick. Swann punches Anderson. Swann delivers the low blow with the golf club. Swann blocks a chair shot from Deonna. Swann with a step-up cutter off the chair. Anderson nails Swann with the Impact Tag Team title belt. Anderson with a vicious chair shot across the back of Swann. Willie Mack is the next entrant. Mack attacks Anderson and Deonna with an axe handle. Swann with a buzzsaw kick to Deonna. Swann and Mack sets up a door contraption. Anderson runs interference. Mack dumps Anderson out of the ring. Mack with an inverted atomic drop. Swann and Mack hits the 3D through the door contraption. Doc Gallows is the next entrant. Mack is choking Deonna with a chair. Anderson attacks Swann from behind. Anderson repeatedly stomps on Mack's chest. Gallows throws the trash can at Swann. Gallo is choking Swann with his boot. Deonna throws the broken door at Mack. Deonna repeatedly stomps on Swann's chest. Gallows attacks the nether regions of Mack with the golf club. Anderson breaks a piece of the door over Swann's head. Eddie Edwards is the next entrant. Edwards whips Anderson with the kendo stick. Edwards dumps Gallows out of the ring. Edwards lands 2 suicide dives. All hell is breaking loose in Dallas. Edwards pulls out a table from under the ring. Anderson attacks Edwards from behind. Edwards with a knife-edge chop. Edwards punches Anderson in the back. Eric Young is the next entrant. Young with a double trash can lid shot. Young slams Edwards' head on the barricade. Young rolls Edwards back into the ring. Gallows throws a chair into Mack's face. Young stomps on Edwards' back. Young is mauling Edwards in the corner. Deonna is biting Edwards' forehead. Deonna repeatedly stomps on Edwards' chest. The Good Brothers gangs up on Swann. Young stabs Edwards with a fork. Deonna cracks Edwards with the trash can lid. Heath is the next entrant. Heath throws powder into Anderson and Young's eyes. Heath with a flurry of lead pipe shots. Heath puts the trash can of Deonna's head. Heath whips the trash can with the pipe. Mack goes for the moonsault, but Deonna ducks out of the way. A massive Pier 6 brawl ensues on the outside. Gallows gets possession of the lead pipe. Joe Doering is the next entrant. Doering denies the suicide dive. Heath is throwing haymakers at Doering. Doering drives Heath back first into the ring apron. Doering sends Heath back first into the steel ring post. Swann and Mack goes for a double superplex, but Doering counters with a double powerbomb. VBD and the Good Brothers has complete control of the match. Edwards is busted open. Young wraps a steel chain around Edwards' face. Rhino is the final entrant. Rhino wraps a steel chain around his fist. Rhino with a flurry of haymakers. Rhino sends Gallows face first into the ring post. Young attacks Rhino from behind. Rhino tees off on Young. Rhino with a steel chain punch. Gallows and Heath is busted open. Hardcore war has begun. Gang warfare in Dallas. Edwards and Young are trading back and forth shots. Rhino chokes Anderson with the chain. Doering whips Mack into the barricade. Young is busted open. Young and Edwards are swinging trash can lids at each other. Edwards gets the better of the exchange. Edwards attacks everybody with Kenny. Edwards sets Kenny on fire and delivers the vicious kendo stick shot to Gallows. Doering attacks Edwards from behind. Young hits the pile driver through the table on the floor. Swann with the 450 splash off the apron. Mack rolls a barbed wire board into the ring. Doering catches Swann in mid-air. Doering uses Swann as a weapon. Doering with a running Death Valley driver through the barbed wire board. Mack clotheslines Doering over the top rope. Mack with a pop-up forearm smash to Deonna. Anderson connects with the gun stun. Heath clocks Anderson with a Dallas Cowboy helmet. Rhino plants Anderson with the gore. Heath hooks both legs to pick up the victory. After the match, the OGK, PCO, and Vinny Mosklia viciously attacks Team Mack and Swann. The OGK nails Mack with the spike pile driver. PCO lands the Swanton bomb on the apron. OGK brings Maria Kanellis into the ring. Winner, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Rhino, and Heath via pinfall. Sixth match, Moose, C. versus Matt Cardona versus William Morrissey in a triple threat match for the Impact World Championship. Cardona with forearm shivers after the bell rings. Morrissey pulls Cardona off of Moose. Cardona ducks a clothesline from Morrissey. Cardona with a flying forearm smash. Cardona is fixated on Moose. Moose dumps Cardona out of the ring. Morrissey drops Moose with the big boot for a 2 count. Cardona denies the choke slam. Cardona sends Morrissey tumbling to the floor. Cardona lands the somersault plancha. Cardona is fired up. Cardona sends Morrissey face first into the steel ring post. Moose with a reverse hammer throw into the barricade. Moose rolls Cardona back into the ring. Morrissey pulls Moose off the ring apron. Moose ducks a clothesline from Morrissey. Moose with the pump kick. Moose avoids the wrecking ball drop kick. Moose kicks Cardona in the gut. Moose powerbombs Cardona on the apron. Morrissey with a pop-up powerbomb into the apron. Morrissey with 3 stinger splashes. Moose sidesteps Morrissey into the turnbuckles. Moose with 2 corner drop kicks. Cardona with a leaping double knee strike. Cardona sends Moose to the corner. Moose with a flying crossbody block. Moose pops back on his feet. Morrissey decks Moose with a back elbow smash. Moose hits the go to hell for a 2 count. Cardona delivers 4 reboots. Cardona poses for the crowd. Morrissey drives Cardona back first into the turnbuckles. Cardona kicks Morrissey in the face. Morrissey slaps Cardona in the face. Morrissey goes for the avalanche fall-away slam, but Moose counters with the Tower of Doom. Moose pulls Cardona out of the ring. Moose sends Cardona face first into the barricade. Moose with a knife-edge chop. Moose slams Cardona's head on the barricade. Moose and Cardona starts brawling on the outside. Moose gets distracted by Chelsea Green. Moose gives Green the middle finger. Green with a flying crossbody block off the stage. Cardona with a flying of strikes. Morrissey with the slingshot pescado. Morrissey rolls Cardona back into the ring. Morrissey with a running shoulder tackle. Morrissey talks smack to the crowd. Morrissey punches Cardona in the back. Morrissey poses for the crowd. Cardona with the jackknife hold for a 2 count. Cardona ducks a clothesline from Morrissey. Cardona hits the code breaker. Forearm exchange. Moose with the pump kick. Cardona sends Moose crashing through the timekeeper's table. Morrissey attacks Cardona with a prosthetic leg. Morrissey whips Cardona across the ring. Cardona ducks a clothesline from Morrissey. Cardona connects with the radio silence for a 2 count. Morrissey denies the unprettier. Morrissey chokeslams Cardona for a 2 count. Morrissey taunts Green. Morrissey goes for the razor's edge, but Cardona lands back on his feet. Cardona with 2 double knee strikes. Cardona with the flying radio silence for a 2 count. Moose pulls the referee out of the ring. Cardona with a wrecking ball dropkick. Corona rolls Moose back into the ring. Second forearm exchange. Cardona denies the Uranage slam. Cardona with a knee lift. Moose goes for the Uranage slam, but Cardona rolls him over for a 2 count. Moose avoids the radio silence. Moose inadvertently spears the referee. Cardona with the radio silence. Morrissey responds with the big boot. Morrissey powerbombs Moose. The referee is still laid out. Referee Brandon Tall checks on the main official Daniel Spencer. Morrissey brings multiple chairs into the ring. Moose delivers the low blow. Moose with multiple chair shots. Cardona gives Moose the chair treatment. Moose with a low blow to Cardona. Green stops Moose in his tracks. Moose shoves Green towards the corner. Cardona nearly hits Green with the chair. Cardona rolls Moose over for a 2 count. Cardona goes for radio silence, but Moose counters with the buckle bomb. Moose plants Cardona with the spear to pick up the victory. Winner, still Impact World Champion, Moose via pinfall. 7th match, Mickie James, C, vs Deonna Purrazzo in a Texas death match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship collar and elbow tie-up. Perazzo applies a wrist lock. Mickie rolls Purrazzo over to score the first pinfall of the match. Purrazzo immediately gets back on her feet and talks smack to Mickie. Forearm/palm strike exchange. Purrazzo drives her knee into the midsection of Mickie. Purrazzo whips Mickie across the ring. Mickie ducks under 2 clotheslines from Purrazzo. Purrazzo catches Mickie in mid-air. Purrazzo dumps Mickie face first on the top rope. Perazzo makes Mickie tap out to the Venus de Milo. Mickie gets up at the count of 3. Quick shoving contest. Palm strike exchange. Mickie tells Perazzo to bring it. Perazzo gives Mickie the middle finger. Both ladies starts flinging chairs into the ring. Perazzo denies the baseball slide dropkick. Forearm exchange. Mickie with a massive chair shot across the back of Perazzo. Mickie rams Perazzo's face against the steel barricade. Mickie hits Perazzo with the golf club. Mickie puts Perazzo inside a wheelbarrow. Perazzo with a reverse hammer throw into the steel ring post. Perazzo headbutts Mickie. Perazzo hammers down on the back of Mickie's neck. Perazzo stomps on Mickie's chest. Perazzo with a throat thrust. Perazzo headbutts the midsection of Mickie. Now it's Perazzo's turn to hit Mickie with the golf club. Mickie slams Perazzo's head on the steel ring steps. Mickie brings Perazzo up the rampway. Mickie with a knee lift. Perazzo kicks Mickie in the gut. Perazzo with a vertical suplex on the stage. Perazzo lays out Mickie with a road case. Mickie gets back on her feet at the count of 9. Mickie is busted open. Perazzo is throwing haymakers at Mickie. Perazzo kicks Mickie down the rampway. Mickie repeatedly drives Perazzo back first into the apron. Mickie rolls Perazzo back into the ring. Mickie slides under Perazzo. Mickie applies the single leg crab. Mickie drop kicks Perazzo off the apron. Mickie removes her tassels. Mickie with 3 knee lifts. Mickie drops Perazzo with a running knee strike. Mickie rolls a table into the ring. Mickie places the table in the corner. Perazzo attacks Mickie from behind. Perazzo repeatedly slams Mickie's head on the table. Perazzo spills thousands of thumbtacks on the canvas. Perazzo with forearm shivers. Mickie kicks Perazzo in the gut. Perazzo denies the Mickie DDT. Perazzo with the pump kick into the thumbtacks. Perazzo wraps the tassels around Mickie's neck. Mickie starts tapping out. Perazzo with a flying crossbody block off the apron. Mickie pulls out a guitar. Perazzo with the blindside shot. Perazzo delivers multiple chair shots. Perazzo wraps the chair around the right knee of Mickie. Perazzo ascends to the top turnbuckle. Mickie flings the chair into Perazzo's face. Mickie with the loo, they press off the apron to score the next pinfall of the match. Perazzo is busted open. Matthew Rehwold helps Perazzo get back on her feet. Mickie with a flying crossbody block. Mickie lays Perazzo flat on the table. Mickie is raining down haymakers. Perazzo has Mickie perched on the top turnbuckle. Perazzo connects with the Avalanche Queen's Gambit through the table to score the next pinfall. Mickie gets back on her feet at the count of 9. Tug of war over the chair. Mickie shoves Perazzo into the thumbtacks. Mickie denies the low blow. Mickie with a knee lift. Mickie smashes the guitar over Rehwold's head. A chair ricochets off Perazzo's face. Mickie superkicks Perazzo. Mickie plants Perazzo with the Mickie DDT. Mickie buried Perazzo under the rubble before the referee's 10 count to pick up the victory. Winner, Impact Knockouts World Champion, Mickie James.